To Donald Trump's trade war now, and China has called on the United States to cancel all tariffs after Washington announced exemptions for some consumer electronics.
Developing now, the trade war between the U.S. and China appears to have taken a hold of someone close to President Donald Trump, Elon Musk. Tesla has stopped taking orders for its Model S and Model X vehicles on its Chinese website.
Tariffs in China have climbed to 100%.
Night to the economy and the markets in China now striking back, hiking tariffs on U.S. goods arriving in China to 125%.
As the President of the United States pushes towards setting an ambitious U.S. goal of achieving a carbon pollution-free power sector by 2035 and a net zero emissions economy by no later than 2050. This has led to an increase in the price of Chinese-made electric vehicles, and Tesla seems to have been badly affected. What could have led to this sudden decision, and how has it affected Tesla? Join us as we uncover why Tesla has completely shut down in China after introducing 100% tariffs. The effects of China tariffs increment on Tesla. Tariffs are once again at the center of a growing economic storm, and this time, analysts are worried they will hurt the electric vehicle industry. President Donald Trump has now set an effective 125% tariff on Chinese imports, threatening to impact global supply chains and raising market uncertainty. Citing a lack of respect, Trump set China apart from other countries. He said in a social media post that he is pausing his so-called reciprocal tariffs on many different trading partners because they had responded by reaching out for talks rather than retaliating. The tit-for-tat hikes between the U.S. and China are the latest in an ongoing trade war that threatens to raise consumer prices in America and derail China's attempts to reinvigorate its sluggish economy. The response from the Chinese government signals its determination not to bend to Trump's pressure, despite the risks. Analysts warn that these tariffs, if in place for an extended period, may disrupt supply chains, increase production costs, and significantly burden American automakers like Tesla, TSLA. Wedbush Securities analyst Dan Ives emphasizes that such tariffs would not only reduce Tesla's profitability, but could shift Chinese consumer preferences away from U.S. brands burdened by steep import costs. But that's just the beginning. As the trade war progresses, China has retaliated by increasing tariffs on their end, which caused Trump to pump the tariffs to 125%.
The U.S. President Donald Trump announces he's raising tariffs on Chinese goods to 125% with immediate effect.
Retaliatory tariffs by China on U.S. imports further strain trade relations between the two countries. Tesla domestically produces nearly all of its vehicles sold in China. However, the trade dispute has harmed Tesla's brand in China, as it is a U.S. company. This has in turn led to consumers delaying purchases of more expensive items, such as Tesla's luxury autos, and opting for cheaper models. BYD, China's #1 automaker and Tesla's rival, appears to be benefiting massively as Tesla prepares to shut down its EV factory in China. As tariffs keep skyrocketing, Tesla has been forced to shift its supply chains and manufacturing away from China. While this might reduce dependency on tariffs, it would in turn lead to inefficiencies and higher operational costs. But where Tesla faces challenges, China's BYD sees opportunity. With its vertically integrated production model and groundbreaking innovations like 5-minute charging and a competitive price point, BYD is poised to benefit from tariffs that widen the cost gap between American and Chinese vehicles. Even without a U.S. presence, BYD's strategic advantages make it well-positioned for growth, which is a luxury Tesla can't afford. Regardless of the disadvantages of the tariff increment for Tesla, analysts are increasingly focused on BYD. Their prediction centers on the fact that prolonged tariffs against China could speed up its global expansion, especially in Europe, Mexico, and South America. Although for years Tesla has been the undisputed leader in electric vehicles, BYD is quickly challenging that dominance. And with Tesla's latest crisis, BYD might just end up taking the lead. The tariffs on Chinese EVs and battery materials would also pose significant challenges for Tesla as they rely on these materials for their production, both in China and elsewhere. The company's reliance on China as a critical growth market and production hub, combined with its vulnerability to cost increases and competition from local players like BYD, highlights the potential risks. These tariffs could drive Tesla to rethink its global supply chain while also squeezing its margins and reducing its competitive edge in price-sensitive markets. Additionally, the retaliatory tariffs from China could directly impact Tesla's ability to sustain its success in the world's largest EV market. Ultimately, while Tesla might weather these challenges by leveraging innovation and scaling its global operations, the broader EV industry could see slower adoption and increased market fragmentation due to the geopolitical tensions between the US and China. But what impact does this war have on China? Stay tuned as we further explore China's involvement in this trade war. China and US trade war escalates. What was supposed to be a historic, era-defining trade war launched by US President Donald Trump against a range of countries has...
Donald Trump is raising tariffs against China to 125% after China raised retaliatory tariffs on US goods to 84% overnight.
For now, narrowed in on a singular target: China. Trump announced a 3-month pause on all the reciprocal tariffs that had gone into effect hours earlier, with one exception, deepening a confrontation set to dismantle trade between the world's two largest economies. Then Beijing made good on its vow to bring in its retaliatory tariffs, and the pace of that escalation has been stunning. Over a week, Trump's tariffs on Chinese imports have jumped from 54% to 104%, and now 125%, which are figures that add to existing levies imposed before the president's second term. And China has retaliated in kind, raising additional retaliatory duties on all U.S. imports to 84%. The showdown sets up a historic rupture that will not only cause pain for both of these deeply intertwined economies, but add tremendous friction to their geopolitical rivalry. Nick Marrow, principal economist for Asia at the Economist Intelligence Unit, talked about the war and how it would affect the entire global trading landscape, referring to an outcome where the two economies have virtually no trade or mutual investment, but it doesn't end there. Trump appeared to link his decision not to grant China the same redemption as other nations to Beijing's swift retaliation. Talking to reporters, he mentioned that China wanted to make a deal, and they just didn't know how to go about it. However, the view from Beijing looks dramatically different from the scenario the president had painted. Chinese leader Xi Jinping, China's most powerful leader in decades, sees no option for his country to simply capitulate to what it calls America's unilateral bullying. Publicly, Beijing has drummed up fervent nationalism around its retaliation, part of a strategy it's been quietly preparing for more than 4 years since Trump was last in office. While China has long said it wants to talk, Trump's rapid escalation instead appears to have confirmed for Beijing that the U.S. doesn't. And in Xi's calculation, observers say, China is prepared not just to fight back, but to use Trump's trade turmoil to strengthen its position. Whether Trump would have suspended his so-called retaliatory tariffs on China alongside other nations had Beijing not moved so swiftly to retaliate remains an open question. Regardless, Trump, who the White House described earlier this week as having a spine of steel, and Xi now appear locked in a war of attrition with the potential to upset a lopsided but highly integrated trade relationship worth roughly $500 billion. For decades, China has been the world's factory floor, where increasingly automated and high-tech production chains churn out everything from household goods and shoes to electronics, raw materials for construction, appliances, and solar panels. Those factories satisfied the demand of American and global consumers for affordable goods, but fueled an enormous trade deficit and a feeling among some Americans, including Trump, that globalization has stolen U.S. manufacturing and jobs. Trump's ratcheting up of tariffs to well over 125%, could now cut China's exports to the U.S.
China launching a retaliatory tariff of 125% against the United States starting Saturday, April 12th.
By more than half in the coming years, by some estimates. Many goods from China won't be able to be quickly replaced, driving up U.S. consumer prices, potentially for years, before new factories come online. In China, a wide swath of suppliers are likely to see their already narrow margins completely erased, with a new wave of efforts to establish factories in other countries set to begin. But this is far from all the consequences of this trade war. The result of the tariffs increment trade war on China. As the trade war between Trump, the United States, and China continues, all eyes remain glued on China, awaiting Xi Jinping's next move. Victor Xi, director of the University of California, San Diego's 21st Century China Center, spoke about the ongoing crisis in an interview with Fox News. According to Xi, the scale of the tariffs could lead to millions of people becoming unemployed and a wave of bankruptcy across China. Meanwhile, U.S. exports to China could also go close to zero, as the country might most likely eventually withdraw any form of relationship that initially existed between them. However, Xi believes the Chinese would be able to sustain themselves through the ordeal more so than the Americans would. Beijing, too, believes it can weather the storm. In response to U.S. tariffs, they spoke about being prepared with strategies to get them through the crisis. A spokesman for the Communist Party mouthpiece People's Daily mentioned how Beijing had engaged in a trade war with the U.S. for 8 years, accumulating rich experience in the struggles. He noted Beijing could make extraordinary efforts to boost domestic consumption, which has been persistently weak, and introduce other policy measures to support its economy. Keep watching, cause this next part will keep you glued to your screens. In the face of unknowns about how much further measures could escalate, voices from Beijing appear calm. Beijing, in recent weeks, has also been talking to countries from Europe to Southeast Asia in a bid to expand trade cooperation and one-up the U.S. by winning over American allies and partners exasperated by the on-again, off-again trade war. However, Beijing appears to be bracing for U.S. trade frictions since Trump's first trade war and his campaign against Chinese tech champion Huawei, which were a wake-up call to Beijing that its economic rise could be derailed if it wasn't prepared. The Chinese government has been preparing for this day for 6 years. They knew this was a possibility, said Xi in California, who added that Beijing had supported countries to diversify supply chains and looked to manage some of its domestic economic challenges in preparation, among other efforts. Today, China is much better placed to weather a broader trade conflict, experts say. Compared with 2018, China has expanded its trade relations with the rest of the world, reducing the share of U.S. exports from roughly 1/5 of its total to less than 15%. Its manufacturers have also set up extensive operations in third countries like Vietnam and Cambodia, in part to take advantage of potentially lower U.S. duties. China has also built out its supply chains for rare earths and other critical minerals, upgraded its manufacturing technology with AI and humanoid robots, and ramped up its advanced technology capabilities, including semiconductors. Since last year, the government has also worked, with varying success, to address issues like weak consumption and high local government debt. Scott Kennedy, a senior advisor at the Center for Strategic and International Studies think tank in the U.S., pointed out that although China's weaknesses appear significant in the context of an all-out brawl, they are manageable. Kennedy believes the U.S. would not be able to, on its own, bring China's economy to the edge of destruction. And as much as Washington doesn't want to admit it, when China says the U.S. can't contain them economically, they have a point. As the war rages on with both President Donald Trump and Xi Jinping refusing to step down for the other, experts believe this trade war might just lead to a major recession, affecting not just the two countries majorly involved, but the entire world. With Trump doing what he feels is right, and China retaliating without as much as a second thought, will the trade war stop anytime soon, or will it eventually lead to a global crisis as experts warn? In a shocking courtroom drama, Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg found themselves on the hot seat as Elon Musk unleashed a $1 billion lawsuit against them. The tension was palpable as Musk brought compelling evidence to the stand, claiming The View spread harmful lies about him.
Elon Musk took over Twitter, and the place is it's a mess.
With emotions running high and legal stakes even higher, this explosive showdown could change everything we know about media accountability. Don't miss the details of this sensational case that has everyone talking. Elon Musk's $1 billion lawsuit. In one of the most talked about legal battles of the year, Elon Musk has filed a staggering $1 billion lawsuit against popular talk show hosts Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg from The View. The lawsuit stems from accusations that the show spread false and damaging information about him, sparking a fierce debate over media responsibility and free speech. Musk claims that Behar and Whoopi made unverified statements that not only harmed his reputation, but also affected his business ventures.
I've been saying it for a while.
Yes, you have.
I've been saying that I think Elon Musk believes he's president.
In court, he presented what he called receipts, including social media posts and clips from The View that he argues support his case. The evidence left many in the courtroom shocked as Musk aimed to illustrate the real impact of their words. As the case unfolded, emotions ran high. Behar and Whoopi were visibly shaken, facing the weight of Musk's serious allegations. The lawsuit has not only captivated the public, but has also ignited discussions about the ethical responsibilities of media personalities. Should they be more careful with their words, especially when discussing public figures? The stakes are enormous, as a victory for Musk could mean a record payout and set a new standard for how media figures can speak about one another. Supporters of Musk see this as a fight against media bias, while others worry it might chill free speech. As the trial continues, all eyes are on this landmark case that could reshape the media landscape forever. Receipts presented in court. In a courtroom drama that has everyone buzzing, Elon Musk took center stage by presenting what he called receipts to support his $1 billion lawsuit against Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg of The View. These receipts aren't your typical shopping slips. They include a collection of social media posts, video clips, and interviews that Musk claims show the hosts making untrue and damaging statements about him. As Musk laid out his evidence before the judge, the atmosphere in the courtroom shifted. The audience watched in suspense as clips from The View played, revealing moments where Behar and Whoopi made bold claims about Musk and his business practices.
The world's richest man, Elon Musk, has full access to the U.S. Treasury federal payment system, and Democrats are ringing the alarm bell.
Musk argued that these statements were not just harmless opinions, but could seriously affect his reputation and career. Both Behar and Whoopi appeared visibly shaken as Musk's legal team dissected their comments, highlighting how they could mislead the public. The tension was palpable as Musk's lawyers emphasized the responsibility that comes with having a platform and the potential consequences of spreading misinformation. This presentation of evidence has sparked a fierce debate, not just about Musk's case, but about the broader implications for media figures. Should they be more cautious with their words? As the trial continues, the focus on these receipts has turned it into a pivotal moment in the conversation surrounding media accountability and the influence of talk shows. It's not just about Musk. It's about how we communicate and share information in today's world. Emotional breakdown in court. The courtroom was filled with tension as Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg faced off against Elon Musk in a legal battle that has captivated the public's attention. As Musk presented his evidence in the $1 billion lawsuit, emotions ran high, leading to a surprising and emotional breakdown from both hosts. As Musk played clips from The View, showcasing moments where Behar and Whoopi made bold statements about him, it became clear that the weight of the accusations was taking a toll. Behar, known for her strong opinions and quick wit, suddenly looked vulnerable as she realized the serious implications of her words. Tears welled up in her eyes as she listened to Musk's lawyers dissect her comments, reminding everyone that even powerful figures can feel the pressure. Meanwhile, Whoopi, usually composed and confident, struggled to maintain her poise. The gravity of the situation seemed to hit her hard, and she was seen taking deep breaths, visibly shaken by the unfolding drama. This emotional response resonated with the audience, reminding everyone that behind the public personas are real people facing real consequences. The atmosphere in the courtroom shifted. What started as a legal showdown turned into a moment of human vulnerability. The breakdowns not only highlighted the personal stakes involved in the case, but also sparked conversations about the responsibility that comes with being in the public eye. As the trial continues, it serves as a poignant reminder that words can carry immense weight, affecting not just reputations, but also the emotional well-being of those involved. Whoopi's controversial comments. Whoopi Goldberg has always been known for her bold opinions, but her recent comments on The View have landed her in hot water.
Whoopi Goldberg does not believe. She can't be on a platform with those people. She's on The View only with people who agree with her all day long.
Especially in light of Elon Musk's $1 billion lawsuit. The remarks in question, which Musk claims were false and damaging, have stirred up significant controversy and debate about the role of media personalities. During an episode of The View, Whoopi made statements about Musk that many felt crossed a line. While she often uses humor and satire to make her points, this time her words struck a nerve with Musk and his supporters. Musk's legal team argues that her comments were not just casual opinions, but rather unfounded claims that could harm his reputation and business ventures. As clips of her statements were presented in court, the tension was palpable. Whoopi attempted to defend her comments by saying they were taken out of context and meant to spark discussion. However, her explanation did little to quell the rising scrutiny. Critics argued that, as a public figure, she should be more careful with her words, especially regarding someone as influential as Musk. The fallout from Whoopi's remarks has sparked a larger conversation about responsibility in the media. Should personalities like Whoopi be held accountable for their words? As the lawsuit unfolds, her controversial comments serve as a reminder of the fine line between free speech and accountability. In an age where everything is scrutinized, the stakes have never been higher for media figures. Joy Behar's defense. As the courtroom drama unfolds in Elon Musk's $1 billion lawsuit, Joy Behar is standing firm in her defense against the serious allegations made against her. Known for her outspoken nature on The View, Behar has always been unafraid to voice her opinions, but this time, the stakes are incredibly high. Behar contends that her comments were meant to be humorous and part of the show's dynamic. She argues that talk shows thrive on lively discussions and strong opinions, and her remarks about Musk were simply in line with that tradition. To her, they were not defamatory, but rather a reflection of the spirited debates that viewers expect from the show. In court, Behar's legal team emphasized the importance of free speech and the role of satire in media. They stressed that public figures like herself should have the right to express their opinions without fear of facing legal repercussions. Behar believes that her statements were based on her personal views and not meant to mislead the public or harm Musk's reputation. As the trial continues, Behar's defense raises important questions about the boundaries of free speech in the media. Can hosts express strong opinions without crossing the line into defamation? Behar's situation serves as a reminder of the challenges media personalities face in today's world, where every word is scrutinized. Her fight in court is about more than just her defense. It's about protecting the essence of open dialogue in media. Musk's argument on media accountability. In the high-stakes courtroom battle against Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, Elon Musk is making a powerful case for media accountability. His $1 billion lawsuit isn't just about defending his reputation.
Elon Musk says is being done under the banner of fraud and waste, which you mentioned.
It's about challenging how public figures are portrayed in the media and urging for more responsible journalism. Musk argues that when influential media personalities make bold claims without proper evidence, they can cause real harm. He believes that statements made on platforms like The View can shape public perception and have lasting effects on someone's career and personal life. By presenting detailed evidence, including social media posts and clips from the show, Musk aims to demonstrate that Behar and Whoopi's comments crossed a line from opinion into harmful misinformation. His legal team emphasizes that media figures have a duty to ensure their statements are accurate and responsible. Musk points out that unchecked claims can lead to misunderstandings and fuel division in society. He insists that accountability should apply to all, regardless of their platform or popularity. As Musk pushes for accountability, he raises vital questions about the ethics of media personalities. Should they be held to a higher standard? As the trial progresses, Musk's argument resonates with many who feel that the media has a responsibility to report truthfully and fairly. This case is not just about Musk versus The View. It's a broader conversation about the impact of words and the importance of integrity in media. Musk's pursuit of accountability could lead to significant changes in how public figures communicate in the future. The role of free speech. In the midst of Elon Musk's $1 billion lawsuit against Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, the vital role of free speech has taken center stage. This case has sparked intense discussions about how freedom of expression interacts with the responsibility of media figures to speak accurately and thoughtfully. Free speech is a cornerstone of democracy, allowing individuals to express their opinions and ideas without fear of censorship. In the context of media, it provides talk show hosts like Behar and Whoopi the ability to engage in lively debates and share their views on various topics, including powerful figures like Musk. However, this freedom is not without limits. When opinions cross into the territory of misinformation or defamation, the consequences can be severe. Musk argues that while free speech is essential, it should not be a shield for harmful statements that can damage reputations. He believes that public figures have a responsibility to ensure their words do not mislead or misinform the audience. This raises important questions. How do we balance the right to speak freely with the need for accuracy and accountability? As the trial unfolds, the discussion around free speech becomes even more critical. Many worry that if media personalities face too much risk of legal action, they may self-censor, stifling important conversations. Conversely, if they speak recklessly, they could inflict harm. Ultimately, the challenge lies in striking the right balance between preserving free speech and ensuring responsible communication in the media landscape. Public reaction divided. As Elon Musk's $1 billion lawsuit against Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg unfolds, public reaction has become surprisingly divided, reflecting the complexity of the issues at play. On one side, many people support Musk, viewing him as a champion standing up against what they see as media bias and irresponsible commentary. For these supporters, the lawsuit is more than just about Musk's reputation. It's a fight for accountability in the media landscape, and they believe that talk show hosts should be more careful with their words.
Goldberg has apologized. Her comments sparked a firestorm.
Conversely, there are many who defend Behar and Whoopi, arguing that their comments were protected under the umbrella of free speech. They feel that talk shows thrive on strong opinions and satire, and that Musk is overreacting. Supporters of The View see this lawsuit as an attack on the freedom of expression, fearing that it could lead to a chilling effect where media personalities become hesitant to speak openly on controversial issues. Social media platforms are buzzing with debates, with hashtags and opinions flying in all directions. Some applaud Musk for taking a stand, while others criticize him for trying to silence voices in the media. This division highlights a broader societal struggle. How do we balance the right to speak freely with the need for responsible communication? Potential $1 billion payout. The buzz surrounding Elon Musk's $1 billion lawsuit against Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg has captivated audiences, not just for its high-profile nature, but for the staggering potential payout at stake. Let us know what you think in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click on the next video on your screens. You will enjoy it.